Day 2. So this is the second day of my pre-operation diet, and I do not feel well from yesterday. I've done lots of diets, like done keto mainly in Atkins, and in the first 2-3 days, you go through what is considered to be a very it's like keto flu, and this is very similar to that. I have a persistent headache that is not like, it's not a migraine, but it's definitely not fun. It just kind of sits inside my head, but it's like in the past I've been able to just massage it out with my neck, but I'm not hitting any trigger points when I massage. Probably going to have to adjust some things, but I texted the nutritionist from Mexico Bariatric Center and showed her my stats from FitnessPal yesterday, and she said that I needed to cut out. I was drinking a protein shake that's chocolate, so I have to cut that out. I can't have any dairy or dairy. Can't remember the other thing she said. It has to be dairy and caffeine free, and I guess chocolate has caffeine. So I'm gonna look closer into the protein shakes, and try to figure out which ones I can actually have. The other thing is that I'm trying really hard to drink water, but the test of having to drink, like not being able to drink 30 minutes before you eat and then 30 minutes after, that's really hard. So working on that one. The other thing is that I just kind of feel nauseous. So, I drank some broth this morning, and I do really like the broth, and I add the collagen protein to it from the powder I got at Costco. And that actually I like the most, because the broth tastes like actual soup. I know I'm getting my nutrients in, or not nutrients, but water intake in. And that's, like that part's going to be pretty easy. But I had a ton of protein yesterday. Like, I somehow got in 124 grams of protein, but at the end of the day, I was low on carbohydrates and fat. So I grabbed some butterfly shrimp, like the breaded kind, out of the freezer and put it in the air fryer, and just had a handful of those. And that added a couple hundred calories to my day. But I did a walk, so it balanced that out, but I was able to get that carbs. Anyway, the nutritionist said that I was good on everything else. So like, I just need to make sure I was eating more vegetables. I need to control caffeine, no dairy. And so to say that, I did post on the boards, and I asked, like, how does everybody feel on the first day? And everybody said that they all felt the same. You just feel horrible. And it lasts for about 3 to 5 days. So everybody yesterday that I worked with was asking me, are you okay? Because they didn't know I was on the diet, or not, I haven't talked to them, but everybody's asking me, like, you seem off, are you okay? And I think it's just because my energy level is down, because, the immediate cut from sugar and caffeine, which, it's so sad that, like, my whole life revolves around not necessarily sugar, but caffeine to just, function every day. I wish that wasn't the case, but that's all my energy, and it's fake energy. Like, I want real energy that comes from the food that I eat in my body, taking care of itself. So that's going to be a huge change. So I know that the bad feelings that I have right now are really from, my body going through withdrawal. So I have to just push through it. But a lot of people on the board said that this was the worst day, is like the worst part of this process was the initial pre-op diet to get, to surgery, to reduce that liver size and get to surgery. But it's so essential. I don't think I could I mean, maybe I could keep this up if I didn't feel the way I did. And I think a lot of times, like when I start these kind of diets, where I severely restrict calories, it's like hard to stick to because of how bad you feel. And you're like, I don't want to feel like crap. I want to feel good, but you have to go through this process and it sucks. It's crazy how our bodies affect us that way. So, I'm in the car again because talking to myself on the phone is awkward in the house with my family. So, and I'm talking about things that I haven't even talked about with them, like the emotional stuff that I'm going through to go through this process and what I've been dealing with for the last 30 years with my weight. So I'm looking forward to can get past this part and get to the surgery. So then, and then still got a long road after the surgery too. So, but we'll get there. I just have to keep telling myself that. And, but it's definitely not an easy thing. It's not manageable either. Like, I'm going to go to work today and I will be fine, but I'm just anything extra or fun for my daughter. And it's middle of summer. I'm still wearing sweaters because it's cold outside, but anything extra for my daughter, I just don't feel like doing, and I feel bad about that. I want her to have a great summer and enjoy herself, but it's like I can barely drag myself out of bed, so I just don't feel like it. My body aches and I'm tired and I have this headache and I feel nauseous. So it's like having a low grade illness. So if you go through this process, you're going to have to start somewhere. And this is it, especially if you're addicted to caffeine like I am. So that's my review for today. I did take my measurements yesterday, and my waist was 44, my hips 55. I did measurements for my arms and my neck. My arms and neck were the same. It was like 15.5 inches. And my thigh, I can't remember my thigh. I think it was like 26 or 27. So I'm going to track all that, but I'm only going to track those things and my weight once a month, because once a week is too often. Every day is not even doable because your weight fluctuates so much with water intake. So I'm sticking to 1 month throughout this whole process. I'll do it on the 1st. Because I don't want, I want to see bigger gains, and this isn't done, like Rome isn't built in a day. So this isn't going to be done in a few days. I'm not going to see huge results in a few days. And it's just going to make me feel terrible if I don't see it. Because of course you have that hope before you get onto the scale that you're going to see big drops on numbers, or even small drops on numbers. And then your weight goes up. And you're like, why? But it's really just water. Water fluctuates so much within your body. Your glucose level, stored in your muscles holds that water. And as you lose the glucose, you lose the water. But you have some more carbs the next day, and you have more glucose stored in your muscles, and that water goes up. So you can't measure it on a day-to-day basis. It has to be once a month. And the times where I've been most successful on diets is when I went like years doing it, was when I only weighed myself once a month. And I refused actually to weigh myself for like the last few years. So, which is how I've gotten so high. I'm not scaring myself. I'm like, I've given up on my weight, and I'm like, I'm not going to torture myself every day by fluctuations in weight. Nor every month, because I knew I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. So, I have to stick to the plan. I have to keep reminding myself why I'm doing this. And it does help. It does help that I know that I'm going to surgery. I know that my liver needs to be smaller. So it's going to make it easier for me to stick to this, because several people on the board said that they really questioned their decision and didn't think they could do it. But it's 3 weeks for me, 3 weeks and surgery. And then I won't even be hungry. I'll be on a liquid diet, for the first couple weeks, and I'll start to get my hunger back. And I think I can do that. I can manage that. So, but it is going to feel like a long road. It already does. So that's what the first day feels like.